But now I'm guessing they're just going to look at B9's heroes. And I mean, one of B9's heroes is the Enchantress, but versus Wraith King Tusk, I'm guessing they might go for something else. It's not a bad hero versus Undying, just because you can always kind of hit Tombstone, but
Oh
that's the
yeah,
other hero,
Death
Death
Prophet's still
Prophet.
in the pool. I mean, this could even be your position 5 DP. It's in a safe
Yep.
position at the moment because there's no way that the Mars. I mean, now with the Mars pickup, I'd say this is very cemented that this is offlane Mars. I mean,
10
it's a
seconds
safe pick to
remaining.
take two to be your offlane. We're not going to see a repeat of the position 5
5
Mars,
seconds remaining.
and this
Not
gives the
unless Moo is playing it.
good point. But this is not that game,
Dire
not
team
yet at
pick.
least. We're going to see the Leshrac being picked up in response. Now, this hero I like against the Mars because it's one of those heroes that, since it's literally all magic damage, shield does nothing. And Death Prophet melts to just getting bursted down. So,
Well, and
10
in the
seconds
two base
remaining.
series versus Infinity Esports, we actually saw two base
5
banning
seconds
first
remaining.
phase Leshrac versus them instead of the where the Alk or
Dire
where in
team
the Alk
pick.
Marana side it was Alk Leshrac. So maybe Infinity Esports have the Leshrac tech, played it a lot, but yep, perfect response. They pick up the Weaver. And we saw it yesterday. It is a little bit scary versus the Tusk. You just need to be careful. If he does catch you out, he is able to punch you, get a lot of
10
that burst
seconds
damage in.
remaining.
But I mean, it's a really free Weaver game so far.
5
Really, it's
seconds
just the Yules
remaining.
coming out from the Leshrac that's like your guaranteed catch. They're gonna need to find something in an offlaner, I think, to help them out on Infinity Esports.
now what if, all right, theory time. All right. I love theory time. It's my favorite segment of every Dota 2 cast I ever try to do. This is an offlane Leshrac.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the theory. It's offlane Leshrac. It's still safe lane Wraith, and 4 Tusk 5 Undying.
Well, and that's the importance of flexibility in these drafts where you're absolutely right. It could be an offline Lash, it could be whatever they want. Having last pick, it just makes so much more sense to draft this way as opposed to kind of cementing your roles because DogChamp really don't care. They just want to pick up
Radiant
the
team
strongest
back.
heroes they can and get the best core matchups they can, having
Dire
that
team
first pick
back.
so they get the last pick in the second phase. But this Weaver hero is just so strong. I'm not sure. The
They
the
banned
Wraith King
OD,
versus
dude.
Weaver matchup isn't good either.
Radiant team
Odie
back.
Bat.
They banned OD and Bat. I mean,
Dire team
offlane
pick.
OD, I don't think really kicks around too much anymore. And then, I mean, offlane Bat, that makes a 50-50. Kind of makes sense. I mean, you could still run the mid Bat too. So I think they're kind of like hinting the
Radiant
fact that
team
this
pick.
isn't the mid Death Prophet.
And there it is.
I mean, it's the best hero against the Wraith King. It's literally been picked this whole entire time. I think they baited it out with these bans too. Like you could see that Infinity were kind of reading like, this is the 5 DP. This is not a mid DP, or this is they're saving for a
10
5 DP.
seconds
Like this is
remaining.
5 DP. They want the bans for the mids. They ban one of the good like
5
off lane
seconds
flexibility
remaining.
mid lane heroes being the Void Spirit, and then the Shadow Fiend, which I mean, I haven't seen a good Shadow Fiend in a good long time, but is good against the Leshrac roster when it comes to just bursting down the creep wave and going back to jungle. But I mean, it left
Well,
Monkey King open.
and with those bans, that makes me think that it's got to be a mid Leshrac because those are the only heroes you would ban versus Leshrac mid. But that also makes me think, what are they going to pick versus this Monkey King now? Because you've already lost your Bat, you lost your OD. You can't really pick Pit Lord. Mars is on the enemy team. I mean, do you go for the Tide in this situation? It's still there, but now you've got this safe lane Weaver. It's a mid monkey, so you won't have to be laning versus the monkey necessarily. But Tide is the only hero that really ticks the slots in this meta so far. Because I don't think you can pick Timbersaw in this game at all. I feel like you're just going to die
Yeah, I
to.
mean, you can't Timber against Monkey, and there's Weaver that exists, so the eventuality of damage that comes out is not going to work out either. Um, I mean, they got a whole minute to figure it out, but I feel like they need something that could give them a little bit of an early game domination. Like the Leshrac does a lot of early damage that can give them that much, but there's not really an offlaner hero that's just like real good. I was thinking Centaur at one point, and this is not my first
Okay.
thought that comes to mind, but I'm actually excited to see this. I haven't seen a good Dazzle in a long time. It's gonna be Little Boy Dazzle.
Little boy Dazzle. And it's actually kind of a sick pick versus Weaver because whenever Weaver's going to go for a last hit, you know he's going to Kikuchi into the wave. You're going to then heal it, and then he's going to take a billion damage. It's like the almost old counter pick. Whenever people were playing offlane Weaver, you just pick 5 Dazzle, and that would be the Weaver's Bane. As well as early levels, I mean, Kikuchi takes a while. You need at least level 3 Kikuchi before you can really casually use it in lane. So Little Boy's got to be able to really hit him a lot in that downtime because he's going to have to Skikuchi for every single ranged last hit. And that lane is kind of rough with the tag team.
You don't still do the Necronomicon rush on Dazzle, right? Like that's not the build still. They
Maybe one level. Maybe just a Necro 1.
Yeah, for farming. So the farmer Necro. And then after that you would just go for like utility items because Dazzle's not really like a big like heavy hitter, more or less. Like he needs things to heal to be effective. When I say that though, I mean if you're in a team fight with a Wraith King and you just have all your Skelebros there, then I mean that could be a nice dominating pull up there.
Well, it's interesting because we've seen almost a swap in the drafts now where DogChamp have a very overwhelming team fight. They've got these really strong abilities that are on these really long cooldowns, and I feel as if in this game, Infinity Esports need to get a lot out of these lanes, and they need to hold that advantage because they don't have that. They don't have the lockdown for the Weaver. They don't have the great burst damage for the Monkey King until they get a lot of items. So it's almost a completely different style coming out from both teams.
Well, with this modified style, I'm just extremely excited to see it. It's a
I'll find Dazzle's hype.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a really long time. There's been a lot of things that the NA region has surprised me with of recent. The fact that Position 5 Death Prophet's a real thing and not a meme. Offlane Dazzle. That's it. Actually, there's not much that's really happened beyond that.
Io Abaddon.
Oh, yeah. Core Io. That was the other one. And that actually, it worked, too. It wasn't just a meme indefinitely. It was a real Core Io game.
Yeah, on a ruin that hero.
In a bit of trouble here. Getting picked off by the
down.
Cores of Infinity. They will find this kill. PP actually the one to get it as well.
And I mean, he's laning what? Yeah, it's going to be Monkey versus Leshrac in the mid lane. And we see Ray on a hero that isn't it isn't his 3. It's not the Quap Storm Spirit +1. But I imagine he's still going to do well.
What's the +1?
That's every other hero he plays.
Oh, okay, got it. Plus a filler hero. Oh my goodness, B9.
Oh, B9.
Dude, he's just getting removed by Little Boy here. That's the power of this level 1 poison touch. He's at 0 HP and has to leave.
At least he's going to be able to get the siphon. I think he's just going to have to siphon immediately, but he might get bursted down then.
Yeah, that's actually insane. I mean, you can never underestimate the power of Poison Touch. That's for sure. Because I remember the build for a long time, even on like a support Dazzle, was that you would go 3-1-1. Or not even 3-1-1.
It just hits so much damage. That spell's also been reworked this hero's been reworked so many times. The Ags has changed. I think the Ags is still changed. Yeah, now Shadow Wave dispels.
By the way. Might be in a bit of trouble by Luki here, but they might be able to turn this around.
Oh, the block.
Finds the lock, and the Quelling Blade not available. They will find the kill. Yogi playing it pretty low, however, but still able to get the nice trade. HP for life.
And I'm surprised we don't see, you usually see that casual Ring of Protection on the Mars versus the Undying just because you have so little armor that you really just get pounded down. And I'm guessing Sexy Yogi is just going to go for the deny as soon as he can because he's really out of gas. Oh.
In trouble. The tag team, as well as the poison, is just enough to get this kill. Little Boy's not even 2 yet, and they get this kill. Meanwhile, on the bot, Yaren actually finds the kill on Yogi. Not able to get denied by the creeps.
He survived on about 15 HP from a Counter Blast, and then I think he died trying to suicide to a small camp. Yeah, in this top lane, they just don't have... They've got... everybody's even armor-wise, except for the Tusk, but once you get that Poison Touch on it, I mean, this might just be the counter to Death Prophet 5. You just hound her down with the Poison Touch, and there's not much she can do. The physical damage is really strong in this top lane.
Yeah, it's just going back to the original thing. Can't underestimate. I mean, it does 28 at 2. Likely, I think we're going to see the 3-0-2 build. Because they don't need a shallow grave if Pamp goes for the snowball at 3. I imagine it might be tag team at 3, though.
Yeah.
Bot lane? Yarn in a bit. Okay, well. Just losing a little bit of HP there to some aggression, trying to get a aggressive counter pull.
Yeah, they're just getting walked at a little bit. And yeah, in this top lane, they're going again.
I mean, what are you going to do? You could see B9. Even this life drain is just not enough. Siphon soul. I mean, there's hardly a soul to siphon, and there's not enough soul to steal.
Yeah, in the top lane, the only good thing going for Creep is that he is getting levels, and once you do get that level 5, it does feel a lot better to just play Weaver in general, but at the same time, I mean, Little Boy is getting kills, getting a lot of XP, and you see the Necro queued up, and I mean, he's just rushing it straight away.
B9's courier getting clipped as well. Another little bit of gold going out to everybody there. I mean, it's a hard game for them. I think it's just going back to kind of what we had in game number 1, where the keeper just kept on dying. It feels like this might be another scenario that if the DP just keeps dying on this, he needs to leave. But he can't really do that, because if that's the case, then the Weaver's going to have problems. It's not a great trade.
Yeah, it's like little ripples, and I mean, they just keep running at him. Oh, it's a little bit of a bad block off, but Little Boy's just here.
All right, I was looking at bot. The bot was a little bit hot as well, but I mean, yeah, B9, Little Boy, he's clicking into him. Doesn't have another heal, though. Does have Wand and Fairy Fire if and when he gets low. We'll use the Wand, the Fairy Fire's there, the heal, and he specs the Shallow Grave out of Reflex.
Oh, he didn't.
He didn't hit it. Maybe he wasn't expecting the double down there.
The Geminate, yeah.
Interesting pick there.
A little bit of a surprising death, yeah.
Did he try to Fairy? Oh, he did Fairy Fire. So it just, he didn't account for it.
And I guess in this kind of situation where you have a wave coming in, Tusk tanked it for you. Maybe he just wanted to die and come back. Because now it is rough. What does Weaver do? He has to wait for B9 to come back to get the pulls off. So he's just going to be watching Dazzle farm for a little bit. So a tactical death, we'll call it.
Tactical death. I'm always afraid of, like, when I play in a ranked game, whether or not I can define something as a tactical
he's got to be careful.
So, speaking of death, Creep in trouble. The snowball will be there. The ice shards will launch him in. And they will keep clicking him down. And I believe he still has the poison on there. So, yeah, he's just dead. Tag team to confirm. And, I mean, it was like you were saying. He had to wait till B9 to kind of help him out. But there's no help to find.
And it's perfectly done from Pamplona. Just having the sentry in lane. They know he needs Siskakuchi for last hits. Oh, Yogi.
Yeah, Yogi was trying to get for the bounty rune there. He did end up getting it. He might try for... He gets the deny. Wow, he bought a lot of time there. Now you see...
Oh, and he's got to run.
Here with the haste. They've got the stun, but he breaks the wrong set of trees. And his Tango is actually in his backpack.
You see the fear, though, and I mean, that's just PP getting a slight lead in the mid lane, where you just hit 6 a little bit faster on the Leshrac, and now he can't really be there. And with the cart, I mean, he's going to have to glyph or something. Yeah.
They'll glyph it up. I mean, we haven't really been talking about it much because there's been action in all the opposing lanes. But, like, it's just immense amounts of damage that come out from this lane. I mean, who is the opposing?
Oh, Yaren.
Oh, it's Ray. Well, Pam comes in. They do drop the ring. It's a pretty good ring, actually, but if they just quell some trees, they'll be able to walk out of that one. Deny the tombstone? Nope. They just want the tower, but meanwhile, in the top lane again, B9 picked off once more.
They were trying to dive Little Boy, and I think Little Boy actually just didn't even look at B9 dying. I think he just Shallowgrave TP'd out in front of their faces. I mean, he already has Necro, and that's the problem. There's been so much action in the side lanes. Everybody needs to be dedicated that PP's just had free rune control both times. Alan.
Okay.
That's a new pause reason.
Yeah.
I'm so used to the Kale.
Is that the new Kale? Or is Alan somebody's name? That might be somebody's actual name.
Or it might just be Ray Lisa. But Wesh has just had this free time in getting both the runes. I mean, he's got an Invis rune now. And getting a level up on Ray, I mean, losing the mid tower so early. Now the Lesh is going to be free to run around. Looks like they already want to trade their safe laners towers, though. As Wraith can already TP top.
Yeah, they TP up there. They want to go for this kill on Creep, and I mean, Creep, he's got nothing. He's just dead.
That was actually, I can't believe that worked almost. Like, they just rotate up almost on a whim. Now just says, I'm done with bottom, I'm coming to you guys. They kill Creep before he hits level 6. Like, that's such a tight play. And now this is going to be another tier 1 tower falling.
Yeah, this tower is dead. They've got the tier 1 Necron as well. It's at very low time at the remaining, but
oh, and
now they're
PP's
coming
here.
in. They want the dive. Pamp goes straight to B9.
He's looking
the
for
Clix
more.
Is there with the stun, but the arena is here in response, but it actually gets nothing. PP, he does get skewered, but I think to the air, basically, and they find this kill on Yaren, and Luki unable to do anything. They have to let it go. The arena did literally nothing.
And PP was so patient. He actually he didn't even break his invis. He wasn't content with just B9. And they would have gotten Luki if they saved like one more stun, but everything is coming up Infinity Esports.
Yeah, Infinity are having a real easy whale of a time here. I mean, I can't believe how well, no, I can believe how well the Dazzle performed in this off lane, but it's just the stacking of DP5. You're right, it might be the counter to DP5.
I mean, again, with all this pressure put on the map, you're missing 2 of your tier 1 towers. You aren't able to push into this bottom tower without the cart, and PP gets another rune, and Yarn's just gone.
Yeah, there's nothing this poor man on a horse can do. He stops halfway through, and he's like, I'm just gonna die. I guess I'll just die. That's a good meme for Dota.
And Infinity are playing so proactively. They're always looking for Yarn because he's really the sole hero that can defend these towers, and he's getting him pretty much every single time. Creep just finished his Javelin. Like, they're just running out of plays. B9's level 3.
I'm up here watching Ray at the moment. Like, they've got 3 people on this tower, but they're 3-man rotating to bot.
Oh, they need to be careful.
I mean, this could be a hot.
They have
fight.
arena.
Exactly, the arena is up. They know, and they throw it out. Oh! The snowball save. It finds the skewer technically, but not really. Tombstone does go down, though. You see B9 trying to apply some pressure in the backlines, but the stun lock goes out onto Creep. B9 falls as well. Monkey King will throw down the arena. This is going to be their big team fight kills here, but Little Boy actually gets picked up by Ray. They will get a 2-2 trade here, but he actually has to be really careful here. PP, though,
Necro Creeps.
no mana available walking through this ring. I know,
no.
I saw the Dagon hit Ray, but Little Boy actually still finds the kill with the help of the Necronomicon Archer.
Yeah, he just suicided his Necro Creeps to get Ray so low, and then he just had to hide in his own trees. But that was Yule's reveal on Leshrac to catch the Weaver off guard. It's not even 10 minutes into the game, and he already has this item, and that's their only catch for Weaver. And if it keeps on going this way, the snowball, it just keeps going, because you've got this Wraith King that's farming incredibly fast while all of this team fighting is go down. He didn't show up to that fight for a good reason.
I mean, Wraith King is so confident in his team that not only is he leading the top of the net worth because he's just farming literally anywhere, but he's going for the Radiance build, which in this game it actually is something that makes quite a bit of sense. You've got 2 physical damaged heroes that are going to be burning consistently in a team fight. B9 is going to be in trouble here, does get found by this Wraith King. The double silence is going to be there. They see the Keeper Blast being charged up. And actually now it's going to be
if
the
they
one
get
in the
Wraith
precarious
King
situation here. Looking at his specs. Okay,
he just killed his ulti.
Yeah, he just spec'd it now.
Oh, but the cavalry's
They
here.
don't even need it. Like, Horseman comes in, they find this kill, PP getting a double, B9 falling actually to now. And they're not done yet. I think they want to maybe try for creep here, but they're going to let him go. And it looks like Dazzle's actually just going to finish the full Necronomicon.
I mean,
like
it's not bad. It's always really good vision, and you do just have bad juju. 26% CDR. But it's 10 minutes into the game, Pete, and they're already pressing up against this tier 2 tower. They haven't even gotten the tier 1 bottom yet.
I mean, take your advantages where you know you got them. And they'll take it home for sure. I mean, you do see that Luki, I mean, yeah, you're right. Dog is lining up for the bot tower trade, but you're trading a tier 1 for a tier 2, and not to mention Little Boy is going to have a good portion of his Necronomicon up.
Oh, again, mid.
Yep, another little transaction
It's
here.
the
Weaver getting
snowball.
stun locked. Snowball with the punch. Follow up.
And it's these combinations of heroes. They're playing so well around each other. The Wraith King and the Dazzle sync up because they know they need the Skeletons and the Necro Creeps to get the tier 2. At the same time, PP and Tusk playing the Weaver. They're playing so solidly on Infinity.
I mean, like game number 1, it didn't feel like this was going to be one of those series where it was going to be a one-sided feel, but I mean, we're coming into the second game of the series and it's completely different from game 1. It's terribly one-sided. It's 19-4. They just got a tier 2 tower and they're picking off Yaren yet again. B9 to follow as well. He's actually going to pop Exorcism because the supports are trying to burst him down. They will have Ray come in there. The arena does go through. It does manage to catch both of Infinity's supports, but this Tombstone's been up for a little while here, but won't save anybody today. The supports are going to get picked, but the best thing about this actually is that the Exorcism went down and the arena went down for 2 supports.
And B9, oh, he's got to be careful.
Oh,
no.
B9, chainlock stunned by PP. What do you do?
And I mean, he wants to force something. He wants to get into the game, but I mean, even if he wanted to hit that mid tower, it's a full HP T1 mid. They just have not gotten around to that in their schedule, and I don't know. Radiance is done on Wraith King. I feel like no matter what pace they take this game, Infinity Esports have just such a good framework for the rest of the game. They just need to keep making arena plays. That's the only thing I can imagine. They need to keep on finding successful plays, but there's so much net worth right now on the cores. It's 13 minutes into the game. It's crazy the items I'm seeing on some of these heroes.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing the Bloodstone already being, like, lined up for this Leshrac. The Radiance is done on the Wraith King. The Dazzle, he's just finished Mach 3 Necronomicon. Your Tusk is actually going for drums. He has more than one item, and your Undying...
They see Yaren.
And Yaren, I mean, he's just dead. I mean, he'll be able to push them away, actually, but the Ice Shards will reveal information, but the Ring being used for Necronomicon creeps and actually puts Ray really low here. He's got to be careful. There's no
E9 versus Wraith King.
Though. Oh yeah, the Wraith King, he's all the way in the back here. No. He gets this kill on B9, no ult expended. And that's the show of the Radiance there, but Creep, not going to let this one go for free. Lukey does get used up on the sidelines, and Creep is actually going to be getting clicked on here. They will end up breaking the first life. Skewer does go through, but it misses. Lukey going to be diffused by the ranged Archer Creep. And now finished up by now with a stun.
And I mean, they had to use everything. They're just forcing everything out of DogChamp one at a time. He had to use Monkey Ring bottom, even though they got the Wraith King ultimate mid. I mean, he doesn't feel like he's gonna die in the next few minutes because he just is so strong. Manning up versus Creep. I mean, they don't have lockdown for Creep, but they have this one Yule Scepter and he just has no farm. Like,
yeah, it's not great. That's for sure. I mean, looking at all of DogChamp's overall items, like your Death Prophet, not much going on here. Your Mars trying to finish up the Yules. He's very close to that. And Ray just needs this Axe. But I don't think even an Axe is going to be the one to take this away. You got double Fluffy Hat on the Keeper. It's just like the farm's just not there for Dog, and they just keep getting picked off. And you can see how effective these supports are alone, picking off heroes in this bot lane, as Ray just dies immediately with the open from Pam.
And it's so casual. Like, Pamplona is just running around. He's like, pings the monkey. Oh, no.
He gets hit one time with one crit from now and loses half of his HP. Like, that's the game we're playing in.
And they've already shown their hand. They show all these heroes bottom, and they can't make a play on the isolated heroes because you're ganking a Wraith King who's just going to sync up back with his team. He cuts your mid wave. And it feels like any aggressive play you're trying to make just isn't panning out for you. Like, you've got Exo, you've got... I think if they don't win with the next Exo or the next Arena of Blood, then that might just be game. Because it's a mountain almost at this point.
It's a lot of gold to try to fight over. PP was actually TPing to the mid creep, got denied. I believe it was a Skelebro. But they're not gonna let that one slide. They're rotating into the mid. They're gonna maybe find one kill here, as there is a sentry that scouts out the Death Prophet. And that B9 is just straight dead. Nothing you could do there. Gets stunned up by Leshrac immediately. I'd love to see the Shard actually in this game for this Leshrac. That's how I
and
feel
they're
this
just going
game
to
is.
Roche. I mean, with tag team, 17-minute Roche on.
They dropped the scan. Like they know they're clearly.
Oh wait,
in there.
Ray. Ray took half of his HP
From what? One right click to a Wraith King, or just
from
little boy
a poison
continuous?
touch and poison touch and necro creeps.
Snowball, ice shards.
And the supports are just buying
Yogi.
time. Oh no.
They dropped the arena. Lukey, he's actually can't get anywhere, and Pam, he's got the punch. And little boy to finish it off. A lot of zombies to heal there. They will get a tier 1 tower in this time, but that's all that they get. It's a tier 1 tower. They lose the Roche, and they lose Lukey, and they lose the arena.
And I mean, they don't even care. And it felt so discombobulated because Lukey wanted to get into that fight, but Ray was so low.
Support's going out for another pick again. However, PP, very low HP, is the Aegis carrier, however. So if he does go down, it's not the end of the world. B9 will be the first one to be traded off here, though he actually is going to live. The slow and insidious damage that comes out from a lot of PP spells, though, Pam is going to fall, and actually PP needs to leave. He's at very low HP. He actually veers off.
He's trying to kite towards the Dazzle.
Yeah, he wants to get to Dazzle here. The shallow grave needs to go out ASAP if he wants to live. He goes in and he
Ray's
wants
dead.
to turn this around. PP is like, I'm basically dead. I'm going to keep fighting with what I've got. He will end up falling. That's a huge kill for them. B9 is going to end up getting the Soul Siphon. They find this kill with the help of the Necronama Omnicons. And they're going to go for Lukey on this turn. As there's only 2 supports here. The Weaver's in the top. Lukey. Yep, there's the poison attacks. And there's all of your HP. Because now we'll find the pickoff.
It was incredibly close as well because he was actually coming with the mech. Little boy wasn't able to get it off on Lesh. It was just getting delivered on the courier. But, I mean, now it's just here. He's just here hitting your tier 3, 18 minutes into the game. And the supports have just done so much for the side of Infinity Esports. Pamplona has found so many kills, so many pickoffs, and they're just running at them. Just because they feel so confident with how much they've gained, their advantage is massive at this point.
Yeah, it's a 12k net worth lead. Their advantage is beyond high.
Yeah.
I saw that too. Very close.
And I'm trying to think of items. It's really just the Ags coming out for the Monkey King. It's no BKBs on the table yet. He's trying to get Sanj and Yasha on Weaver. And once he has it, it is a little bit annoying. Once the Weaver gets a little bit of tank, he does become a little bit of an issue. But
Dazzle.
at the same time, Little Boy's almost outpacing him. If they get Dazzle, it's very nice. But they're TPing it in.
Yeah, I mean, they have the outpost. They see the one-man
Oh,
TP,
they're getting squeezed.
They're coming in for the backlines. They're getting split up, actually, as Pampy is going to come in, try to get 1 kill here, but baits out the arena and the ring. And
It hit nothing.
I mean, they're Infinity's
creep.
like, okay, cool. Whatever floats the boat, and they throw out the ice shards. They block him in there. B9 is going to fall with the Lukey as well, and now with Shallow Grave, little boy, he's even got the mech. He's just fine. The clap from Yogi to heal him up as well. He's actually got the Holy Locket as well, so if he needs that 21 charges, yep, there it is.
And you saw Creep was so scared. He got hit by a Tusk right click, and he immediately time-lapsed because he knew they had vision of him. But dying so close to the base, I mean, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to just be an immediate 2 racks. They're just going to go top. They don't have Glyph.
I mean, even...
I don't know.
What if they just walk mid?
And just hit
How many skills
T4s?
did they have? They've got 4 skills available, and I think he went for the double. No, it's not. It's not there yet. That's level 20. I mean, let's be honest. He's going to get level 20 really quick, so he's not going to go for that 30 move speed. And they still have the Necronomicons.
I don't even know if they're going to get 20 because I don't think there's going to be that much game left.
Well, this is kind of a last hurrah attempt from DogChamp here. They will throw out the Exorcism, but B9's HP is removed immediately by 1 crit from the Wraith King. Resurrection is available. He is SN wide, but skewered up to the side of this tree line here.
Oh.
They have the blink in.
Snowball.
The snowball goes in. They find the punch. B9's the first to fall. There is backdoor protection. They're going for creep. They find the Yules. The stun's not going to latch due to the Yules. The arena goes through defensively, but it breaks the tree of the Monkey King. Raelisa has to disengage. He's losing a lot of HP just to the burn alone, and Lukey will be the next to fall. The buyback's immediately out from there. The snowball goes out on the B9, but looks like they're going to turn instead. But no, they go for the stun on B9. That's a dieback for him. He's only dead for a minute. They still have a chance to make that good team fight, but I mean, with an 18k net worth lead and your racks going down, this looks like, yep, there it is. The GG has been called, and Infinity will take this series 2-0. The doubleheader Easy pickets.
And they just played their lineup so well. Everything was so clean. Pamplona played out of his mind. He actually just, I think, carried the game on his back. Him and PP just made so much space, got so many kills at so many junctions in this game, and they just had no plays. Their only playmaker was Luki Luki. He was the guy that needed to do everything for his team, but even in that situation, as soon as top went the way it is, then they immediately rotated mid, and then suddenly your monkey doesn't have a game either. And losing 2 lanes out of 3 in Dota, it's so hard to come back from that kind of deficit. And then I don't even know how Wraith King had like a 12-minute radiance. That was just absolutely crazy.
So I went over to the graphs. All right, it's a very scary graph. According to the good old fashioned Dota, you know, there's these specific heroes that Dota really likes that gives them an automatic little bit of a win percentage. And you could see that the win percentage they were already kind of giving it with the win probability was at like 15%.
Yeah, I think that's the highest the pre-game win probability I've seen.
I mean, is it the Wraith King Lesh?
I think
Because
it's
I
got to
know
be
that Mars
Undying
and
Wraith
Monkey
King
is the
Lesh.
respawn. It had to be the combo.
Yeah. Maybe even just the Dazzle thrown in there, because I know Dota Plus really likes healing, but even with the Dota Plus, it was never not in an Infinity Esports ball game. Like even the fights where they were able to get 2 easy kills on the supports are just running at you because the cores are so strong they don't even really care. Even when they lost Aegis in sort of a bad way, they weren't able to do anything off of it. There was no objectives to gain, and I don't know. They just countered this DP perfectly. They made Bloody Nine feed on Death Prophet.
I think
214 and 2
Yeah, I
before.
think the Dazzle is the answer. Like you were talking about at the very beginning of the game, where it just felt like Dazzle was breaking down this DP5 fairly effectively. And it was kind of like in game number 1, where you don't want to be throwing your support multiple times, but it wasn't like game number 1 in the sense that Luki Luki was able to survive because he was the Timbersaw at the time. In this game, there wasn't that option because Tusk plus any combo, especially one where it capitalizes with tag team, is the hardest lane to fight against. It brings me back to the good old fashioned Kunkka Necro days. That's how like synergistic a Tusk plus any hero is.
Yeah, and there wasn't even that hold in the draft. There wasn't a brittle bone in the body. Like last game, we got the Timbersaw versus the Dark Wolf 5, but even in that lane, they just focused Yarn. They just ignored Luki Luki. And even in this game, Yarn was getting run down because Infinity Esports just translated their lead so well. They played absolutely perfectly.
Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for that series of the day. We have 3 more series coming up for you next. It is going to be Arkosh versus The Cut. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. More Dota 2 action for you right around the corner.